Alright guys, it is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022 at 11:32 p.m. Alright guys, so it was a big day, lots of stuff happened. Let's take a look first at dailyverses.net. Verse of the day. It says, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Psalm 37:4. That's right, take delight in the Lord. The Lord is everything. He will guide you through everything. Alright, let's take a look here at the things that happen. Alright, so we have a post I made. Says, makes you think, so grateful for everything. Sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Poor, yet making many rich. Having nothing, and yet possessing everything. 2 Corinthians 6:10. That verse made me think a lot. Made me think deep thoughts. We're sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Poor, yet making many rich. Having nothing, and yet possessing everything. Amen. Alright, next we have Gilbert Gottfried sadly passed away today. He died at the age of 67, and here in this post they're wondering if he had cancer or if he was ill with something else. Apparently, he had been sick for a long time, and his wife and his children are mourning his death. So please pray for their family as they're going through this grieving, difficult time. Alright guys, so there were a lot of tornadoes today in Iowa and Texas. A lot of tornadoes in the Midwest. Let's take a look here. We got Jacob Hernandez, Pioneer, Idaho tornado today, taken around 6:10 p.m. And then we have from Paige Vincent, Gilmore City tornado, 4/12/22. You see there a tornado spinning in the distance in the video. That's a very large tornado. Alright. Also from Kaylin Patel, this is another image from earlier today of the stovepipe tornado. It was insane to watch it go from innocent lowering to a full tornado. That is quite large for a tornado. Let's take a look at the image so you guys can get a closer look at the tornado. Look at that. That is clearly a beautiful shot. Alright. There was also a 5.9 magnitude earthquake off of Papua New Guinea. 21.31 miles west-southwest of Kokopo, Papua New Guinea. So a 5.9 magnitude earthquake. Also from Greg Johnson, tornado near Gilmore City, Iowa at 6:30 p.m. And then they have his video. I'll leave you guys a link to my channel if you guys want to check out all these videos of tornadoes. I post any news that I come across. I post tornadoes. I post the news that's happening, and it's a great channel to follow if you want to be updated on the things that are happening. Alright, this is from Jake Heitman. It says tornado, Palmer, Iowa. Quite intense to see tornado in the distance. Alright. So a lot of tornadoes happened today. Also a 5.9 in Papua New Guinea. I already said that. Then there's from Don Moore. I'm still energized after watching this moment Saturday night. These two photos are 3 minutes apart. One horizontal, one vertical. Which do you prefer? So he's showing aurora borealis lights. So there's also aurora borealis lights happening as well as tornadoes. Yeah, the sun has been acting and pretty much showing a lot of energy. So it's pretty much you get northern lights because of that. Alright, this is from Taylor Kellogg. It says unreal. From a friend in Saldo, Texas. Get a large tornado in the distance. Alright, so plenty of tornadoes. But look at this. We have hail. We have Bill Wadell saying huge hail came down from the storm that dropped the tornado in a rural area in Salado, Texas. Hear from this couple who saw a tornado in their backyard on AccuWeather. And here's the image of the hail. Let's take a look at this hail so you guys can take and see. The Parker family posted and shared this gigantic, it looks like a baseball sized or a softball sized piece of hail. That's pretty large. And then we have Gina Brown, who posted hail in Salado. Let's take a look at the image of the hail compared to her hand. That is a pretty large piece of hail. That piece of hail could possibly, if it hit somebody, hurt them seriously or even kill them if it hit the wrong way. So a lot of possible property damage due to that type of giant hail in Salado, Texas. And here's another image of it with a piece of fruit, a lemon, I believe. Look at that piece of hail. It's pretty big. Alright. So let's take a look. There's plenty of tornadoes. You guys can check out my page and see all the tornadoes that I posted. I post a lot. So if you follow my channel, be prepared. You're going to be bombarded by tornado news. You're going to be prepared by all the news of if anything happens, I pretty much share it. So alright, let's see if I can find, I'm looking for specific stories that I shared. Alright, here we go. Multiple people injured and shot in New York City subway attack. At least 13 people have been injured in a shooting incident at a subway station in New York City, borough in Brooklyn, where several undetonated devices were recovered, authorities said on Tuesday. So also a terror attack from New York City subway, gas mask suspects at large, undetonated devices found, multiple injuries, people shot and hurt. So there is a manhunt underway for a suspect in attack in New York City subway, injuring at least 13. Suspect description: a black male, 5'5" in height, wearing a construction vest. 8:30 a.m. in the morning. That's peak time, and possibly everything was planned. So this person, whoever it is, they're pretty much looking for him. Alright, so this is the person of interest. Let's take a look at the story here for this attack that happened in New York City. Person of interest in New York City subway shooting ranted for hours in YouTube videos about Mayor Adams, homelessness, and race wars. And here is the image of the person of interest. It says the person of interest on Tuesday's mass subway shooting in Brooklyn has recorded dozens of hours of YouTube videos ranting about Mayor Adams, homeless people in the subway system, gun violence, and how outreach workers are quote-unquote homosexual predators. Frank James, 62, remains at large after Tuesday's morning attack, which left 10 people shot and another 13 with various injuries. So they're just looking for this person as a person of interest. They're not saying this is the person who shot, but just in case it is, this is the image. And then as you see there, Crime Stoppers, 1-800-577-8477, quote-unquote tips. So call that number if you have any idea or could help New York City with the identification of this person who possibly could help solve what happened at the New York subway shooting in New York. Alright, next. Let's take a look. NASA spots massive comet heading toward Earth. A massive icy comet emanating from trans-Plutonian depths of our solar system is on a course to travel closer to Earth than any comet of similar size, at least so far as scientists have been able to tell. The comet, known as C-2014 UN-271 Bernoulli-Bernstein, has a frozen nucleus which measures 80 miles across and is 50 times bigger than the core of most comets that travel toward the inner area of our solar system. It is believed to have a mass of about 500 million tons, making it 100,000 times more massive than the typical comet found toward the inner solar system. The comet is traveling at about 22,000 miles per hour, moving from the edge of the solar system towards the center. Fortunately, the comet isn't expected to get closer than 1 billion miles from the Sun, which is farther away even than Saturn, and is not expected to get even that close until 2031. So American scientists have been aware of the comet since about 2010, which at 0.3 billion miles from the Sun, about the same distance between Earth and Neptune. Since then, scientists have used telescopes both on Earth and in space to try and understand more about the comet. So I will leave you guys the link for this article, but apparently that massive comet is headed towards the Sun, which could make it pass closer to Earth. Alright, guys, next. China has gone full Orwellian. Schwab's utopia becoming a reality in Shanghai. Troops, people screaming, jumping out of windows, farmers arrested, big tech censorship. And there's videos and pictures. It says China is going full Orwellian right now. Is this the plan? Xi intentionally makes people in China starve? Question mark. So in China, agonized locals in some residential district in Shanghai, a totalitarian lockdown scream in horror, "We are starving to death. We haven't eaten for a very long time. We are really starving to death." Please pray for the people in China. I think the first time when the first lockdown happened, they would lock people in their homes and board their doors and not let them come out at all. I've heard that they're separating children from parents, that they're killing pets, that they're just doing whatever the heck they want with the people there. So please pray for the people of China. This is really a nightmare scenario for those people there. It says Schwab's utopia is becoming reality in Shanghai. This is what the globalist bureaucracy state stands for. It says very recently China somehow has turned from basically zero COVID for 18 months to tens of millions of people locked in their homes for the last week. Now the military is on the scene. Yes, look at that. The Chinese military has deployed to empty streets in Shanghai. So you see the Chinese military deployed to the streets of Shanghai. This is Chinese screaming from windows in Shanghai after being locked down in their apartments. They cannot leave their apartments. Alright. It says, within the last few weeks I've watched my fair share of gruesome, violent, and videos of death in general, but the next video is simply haunting. People are jumping out of buildings. This is distressing to say the least. People are jumping out of buildings because they probably don't have food and they're probably locked in there. So that is quite gruesome. I'll leave you guys the link to this article so you guys can check out what's happening in China for yourselves. And finally, we have the Watchers site. It says subtropical depression Isa is forming near eastern South Africa. Heavy rainfall claims at least 45 lives. So please pray for the people in eastern South Africa. They're dealing with a tropical depression, subtropical depression. Also, major flood warnings issued as Sydney records a month's worth of rain in a day. Australia. That is for April 7th. So I'll leave you guys the links to this channel so you guys can check out these headlines. But please pray for the people out there in China, people in Australia dealing with flooding, people in South Africa dealing with hurricanes, people who are encountering tornadoes. Pretty much pray for each other because we all need it in these last days. Remember to get saved, follow Jesus Christ. That's the only salvation for your soul and for everything that we have left while we're still here. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like, subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. God bless.